Hello everyone, welcome back to the study of economics. In the last episode, we have completed the chapter number 1 from part A. In that we discussed about the economics, meaning of economics, scarcity, definitions, as well as statistics, the importance of statistics in the economy. All these things we discussed in the last episode. Today, we are going to deal with new chapter, that is again from part A, chapter number 2, collection of data. Before going to this chapter, we'll see what are the synopsis of this chapter. First one, key terms, sources of data, surveys, census or complete enumeration, sample survey, questionnaire, and types of questions. Next one, open-ended versus close-ended, mode of data collection, pilot survey, methods of sampling, important agencies. All these synopses we can discuss in detail in this chapter. So now students, after studying this chapter, what are the outcomes you get? So that we can see here. First one, understand the meaning and purpose of data collection as well as distinguish between primary and secondary sources. Means after studying this chapter, you can able to know about what is the meaning of data as well as what are the purpose of data collection and what are the difference between primary data and secondary data and what are the sources of primary data as well as the secondary data. So all these informations we can learn after studying this chapter. Second one, to know the mode of collection of data, because the chapter only says that collection of data. So all we know that regarding the datas, but how to collect the data, so that we can study after learning this chapter. And third one, distinguish between census and sample surveys. Be familiar with the technique of sampling. That means here again after complete this chapter, we can know about what is census and what is sample survey and how this census and sample surveys are familiar with the techniques of sampling, and also to know about some important sources of secondary data. So all these outcomes or all these objectives we can get after learning this chapter. Then dear students, now we'll see introduction of this chapter. In the previous chapter, you have read about what is economics and also you studied about the role and importance of statistics in economics. The purpose of collection of data is to collect evidence for reaching a sound and clear solution to a problem. So this we have to study in this chapter. Now we'll discuss about key terms. What are the key terms used in this chapter? First one, variable. Then what is variable? Variable means the value which change, such as production of food grains per annum, temperature of a city, etc. They are represented by X, Y or Z. So the word variable is nothing but varied, means changes. So the value of a product should be changed. So that is what variable. In economics, you often come across a statement like, after many fluctuations, the output of food grains rose to 176 million tons in 1990-91 and 199 million tons in 1996-97, but fell to 194 million tons in 1997 to 98. Production of food grains then rose continuously and touched 212 million tons in 2001-2. Two situations we can observe in this statement. That is, you can observe that food grains production in different years does not remain the same. It varies from year to year. The production of food grains, it is varies or it is changed from year to year and from crop to crop. As these values vary, then it is called as variable. So this is what the concept variable. Thus, variable is nothing but the values which can change by annum or by year to year. A characteristic number or quantity that increases or decreases over time or takes different values in different situations. In variables, again there are two types. One is independent variable, another one is dependent variable. Then what is independent variable? Independent variable that can take different values and can cause corresponding changes in other variables. And dependent variable is that can take different values only in response to an independent variable. So this is for the variable. Another key term, statistical investigation. Then what is statistical investigation? It means search for information conducted by using statistical methods. Statistical investigation is part of an information gathering and learning process which is undertaken to seek meaning from and to learn more about observed phenomena, as well as to inform decisions and actions. A scientific method is used for statistical investigation since it is concerned with empirical data. Next one, enumerator. Then who is enumerator? The person who collects data by conducting an inquiry or an investigation is called enumerator. Often the enumerator is trained person for field work. Thus, enumerator's role also very important in the field of investigation. Next one, investigator. Then who is investigator? The person who conducts statistical investigation, or the person who plans and conducts a statistical investigation independently or with the help of others is called as investigator. Next one, statistical units. Then what is statistical units? The items on which the measurements are taken, that is called as statistical units. For example, weight in kgs. So this is what statistical units. A statistical unit is a unit of observation or measurement for which data are collected or derived. So the statistical unit is therefore the basic element for compiling and tabulating statistical data. Next key term, population or universe. Then what is population or universe? Totality of the items under study is called population or universe. The population or universe represents the entire group of units which is the focus of the study. Next key term is sample. Sample means it refers to a group or section of the population from which information has to be obtained. Thus, a sample is a smaller, manageable version of a larger group, and it is a subset containing the characteristics of a large population. Samples are used in statistical testing when population sizes are too large for the test to include all possible members or observations. Next, another one key term, that is good sample. Then what is good sample? It is a smaller than population and it is capable of providing accurate information about the population at lower cost and lesser time. So this is what good sample. Then what are the characteristics of a good sample? First one, goal oriented. A sample design should be a goal oriented. Then only we can say that is good sample. Second one, accurate representative of the universe. A sample should be an accurate representative of the universe from which it is taken. And third one, proportional. A sample should be proportional. And the last one, random selection. If it is become a good sample, that is when samples should be selected at randomly. So these are the characteristics of a good sample.